What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. So I want to show you something here today that you should do every single time you train, okay? It doesn't matter what split you're on, it doesn't matter what muscle group you're training, and I only want you to do just one set, or maybe two at max. But to be quite honest, you're not going to need to do more than one or two if you do this effectively. And I'm going to demonstrate it here on a lat pull down, because when it comes to back training, this is one of the exercises that it works really well on. You're going to see in a second here, there's some that it does not work well on. So it's not just go do this on everything. And how you do this matters. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is pick a weight that I usually would do about 12 to 15 repetitions with. All right, now what I'm going to do is, we call these tension sets. I want to turn this into a 10-second repetition. Basically 5 seconds down. And when I get to the bottom, I want to squeeze. I want to know that I didn't just heave this weight down, but I actually contracted it down. And Jesse can come around the back, you can see, when I get down here, I'm pausing for about 1 to 2 seconds. Then I'm going to come back up, 5 seconds on that eccentric. But I'm really fighting the bar as it rises up. I can let this just go, but I'm not going to let it. I'm going to fight it all the way up. When I get to the top, I want to accentuate that stretch, lean in and let it pull me up with tension. I'm not just letting it drag me up here. I still have tension through my arms and my lats. Okay, then I start the next repetition down again. Again, I can move this much quicker. It's not about that. I want to move it slow because I want to force these muscles to do the work. And the idea here is, when it comes to growing a muscle, remember this, guys. There's one and only one language that your muscles speak. It's tension. Your job is to create as much tension from start to finish through, where are you? The full range of motion. Not just the stretch position of the exercise, the full range of motion. In the contracted position, in through the eccentric, which is just the elongation or stretching portion of this repetition. And then again, yes, fully in this stretch position, because we know that can be hypertrophic, so we want to get that tension through here, but through every repetition until I cannot do any more. So if I stop being able to pull this down past this point, that's fine. That's where the repetitions go to. But I'm still going 5 seconds on the way up, and then 5 seconds in this elongated position. When you then initiate the next rep, you might only get it to here. And this is where those partials start to come in. But it's not just hanging out in the partial range of motion, guys. That is not the way to be interpreting this quote-unquote new research. You want to have tension in the stretch position, but it's because you want to have tension throughout the range of motion to get a muscle to grow to its fullest. And when you get to the point where you can't move it anymore here, you're still trying to fight for 5 seconds, and then you're 5 seconds out of eccentric until you notice that even in this stretch position, you lose the capability of controlling that. Now, truly, if you do what I just did there, you're going to turn your repetitions from 12 to 15, whatever it was, that initial weight, down to maybe 6 or 7. And that's okay. You got the effect that you wanted. Now, if you don't have a lat pull down, are there other exercises that this works well with for your lats? Yes, there is. You could do a one-arm high pulley row. It's a great way to hit one side at a time, especially if you have any muscular imbalances, but you can see this extreme amount of tension that's applied both in the contracted position, because it matters there, guys. It truly does. We're not throwing that out. And in this extreme stretch position of the lat. Or you can do a straight arm push down, another exercise that lends itself really well to this technique, and done even from a kneeling position gives us that accentuated stretch position as well. So we want the stretch position, but it's not the only part we want, and more importantly, we want to control every aspect of that stretch position. If you don't have, obviously, a cable machine, there's nothing wrong with putting a band up over a pull-up bar like this at home and doing the same 2 exercises that I just showed you here with the one-arm high pulley row or with a straight arm push down on either standing or kneeling. Now, how is this not so good? Why are not all exercises good? Because they don't allow for that tension to be maximized throughout the repetition. So let's take a great exercise like the barbell row. What would happen if I chose this as the movement? If I got into position here and I pull up nice and slow, again, if Jesse comes around the back here, you can see good contraction, squeeze at the top, engaging the lats, tightening my elbows to my side. Now as I start to go down slow, I'm getting some of that lengthening of the lats. But what happens down here? There's not as much tension because of the force of gravity acting straight down through my arms. However, even beyond that, where's the stretch of the lats? I don't have an opportunity to do that unless I kind of do this, right? Let my arms, float out in front of my body and then round my back. Well, obviously, that's not a wise position to put yourself in, especially with any kind of heavy load. But to the stretch-only advocates, does that make the barbell row a bad exercise? Of course not. That's insanity. The barbell row needs to also be part of your program. So if you're going to do these exercises, these high-tension sets, then perform them after you've already done your heavy-loaded, high-tension exercises that come from overload, like a barbell row, and then put them after that, because these are very fatiguing. You don't want to do them all more than, like I said, 1 or 2 exercises. Now, if you want me to put these into specific workouts for you, basically a whole back workout that has these built right in for you, I'll start making that series. Just leave your comment below. Let's say maybe the new perfect workout for each of the muscle groups. If you guys found this helpful, make sure you leave your comments below. If you haven't already, make sure you click subscribe and turn your notifications so you never miss a video when we put one out. All right, guys, see you soon. Full program's over at ATHLEAN-X.com. See you.